The worst type of friend to have is the friend with the victim mentality, bruh.
You know, they would also hit my car with their door and think that it was funny. Like, everything at the end of it, oh, it was a joke. Like, why are you mad? It was a joke.
I genuinely can't be friends with someone who has a victim complex, like sees no error in their ways or sees how they played into a certain situation. Like, I can't do it. It actually drives me insane.
If they're always threatened by your success and see it as an attack on them. You're friends with a chronic victim if they always have issues with other people, but somehow it's never their fault. If your friend believes that everyone is out to get them and they always assume negative intention, that is a chronic victim.
This is what y'all need to understand. So let's be honest, relationships are hard. It's for a lot of different reasons. But one of the main reasons that we're here to talk about today is because people fail to take accountability for their actions. It's always somebody else's fault. This person not to get them, that person not to get them. They're doing their best. This person doesn't understand me. It's always somebody else's fault, and they are just the best friend that ever walked the face of the planet. And with that, we call that the victim complex. And that's what we're here to talk about today. But before we talk about the victim complex and why you or one of your friends could be that person, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Join the prosper game. We keep it a PG. There's a whole lot of prosperity going on around this mug. You feel me? Without further ado, let's get into the video.
The worst type of friend to have is the friend with the victim mentality, bruh. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand the world is tough. I understand life is hard. But to sit there and act like every single situation you've ever been in is not in part due to your own stupidity / your own actions is fucking crazy. Like, are people living your life for you? You think that everything that happens to you is just a result of circumstances outside of your control? Take some fucking responsibility for your life and stop acting like a little bitch. Thank you.
You're friends with a chronic victim.
Well, I will say this just to get started, that I feel like most relationships, like romantic relationships and friendship relationships, typically fail because of a lack of communication. Somebody has a misunderstanding with somebody, and because somebody maybe has too much pride in the other person or ego too big, they don't want to be able to elaborate or be transparent about their issues. And with that, that's why a lot of friendships and businesses or business partners or relationships typically end because of those reasons, right? So I think if we just work on being able to communicate, then it will fix a lot of issues.
If they're always threatened by your success and see it as an attack on them. You're friends with a chronic victim if they always have issues with other people, but somehow it's never their fault. If your friend believes that everyone is out to get them and they always assume negative intention, that is a chronic victim. This person probably thrives on pity and always feels the need to one-up everybody with their trauma. And I bet when you confront them about something, they blame their actions on their mental health and end up making you feel bad for bringing anything up in the first place. No friend is perfect, but someone who can gracefully take accountability for their actions is someone that you should keep around.
Facts. And there's a lot of people that have this echo chamber syndrome. Now I'm calling it. In the echo chamber is either you have people in your life that just regurgitate your thoughts already and they don't really expand your mind to think maybe you tripping, or you are alone by yourself, you don't talk to too many people, and you create these scenarios in your brain that you create it to be so real that it's obviously somebody else doing shit to you. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people like that too. So you got to be very mindful to be able to have communications with different people so they can let you know if you tripping. And you got to be open to wanting to hear that. Because just because you ask somebody for their opinion and they give it to you and you think, nah, they tripping, it ain't what it is, they out to get me, then you definitely got this victim complex syndrome. You need to work on that for sure. So echo chambers are another big reason for that. Do not create your own echo chamber, and don't be in an echo chamber with a bunch of people that just echoing the same delusion that you got in your own head.
For the life of me, I cannot stand a victim complex friend. Like, I can't help you if you don't want to help yourself. What's the point of you coming to me and just venting, knowing that, like, it's not going to change, like, you're not going to do something and you just want me to support it? No shade, but I'm not that friend. Like, I can't just, like, support victimhood. Like, it's okay to kind of, like, you know, ruminate on something for a little bit, maybe vent about it. to little friends, you know? Get your feelings off of it. That's totally fine. But not wanting to like change and do better and receive help, now that's actual issues. Like, you might need to like rethink certain shit.
And it's one thing for somebody to, like, you have a conversation with them doing something they don't like, and you tell them like, this is what you're doing wrong, and they agree with you and they decide that they want to make the change. Now they might take a little time to make that change, but they have accepted and have agreed that you are correct about whatever assessment they've been got going on. Now, that's different from people that they ask you for advice or they tell you what's going on. You give them advice and they just disregard everything you're saying and don't want to hear nothing. That's different. So it's a difference between giving people grace to change than constantly telling somebody what they're doing wrong and they just disregarding all your advice. At that point, you just let them figure it out for themselves.
Because like, you don't want to change, you don't want to do nothing better for your life, I'm sorry, I'm just not that person or that friend that's going to support victimhood or that type of energy.
There is nothing more dangerous than being an introvert, a caretaker, and befriending that always the victim friend. I just saw a video about this talking about how that always the victim friend is a master manipulator and usually has like an ulterior motive. And it got me thinking about my own experience that I never talk about, because everyone knows I'm an introvert and I have a bad habit for being a caretaker as well. I always refrain from telling my side of the story in efforts to protect said people. When you think about it, like, they weren't trying to protect you when they treated you that way. And also, if you wanted the story to sound better, like if you didn't want it to sound this way, then why'd you make the story this way? Like, I had a friend who would make fun of like how little I ate. There was one time when I was sitting there eating with them, and they were like, if you don't eat all of that, then you might as well just leave. Like, you're wasting the food. Like, that sounds so dumb coming out of my mouth. Like, the fact that I let that happen and I continued to call them my friend after that. You know, they would also hit my car with their door and think that it was funny. Like, everything at the end of it, oh, it was a joke. Like, why are you mad? It was a joke. Those type of people are so dangerous. It never ends well. Like, you just keep on forgiving and making sure they feel okay, but you're not thinking about how you feel about it. That's not doing them any good because you are enabling them. That's not doing you any good because all you're doing is self-destructing. There are still some instances that I need to, like, stand up. Like, girl, stand up. Learn from me. Okay, don't let it go on for too long. Cut it off. You will be A-okay. You will be better than you were.
That's not a always victim friend. That's just a gaslighter. Oh, it was just a joke. You hit your car. You hit my car with your door, bro. That's not a joke. Like, I hope since you're so good at jokes, I hope you hop on that goddamn stage and make some ha jokes and pay for this damn damage you did on my car. It's just we make talking about jokes. But that ain't always victim friend. That is a gaslighter, which, I mean, I guess you can say in a way that's a victim friend, but no, they just gaslighting you and they just know you nice. So they just taking advantage of your niceness. That's a little different, but I do get that, yeah, you stand up for yourself for sure.
Even better than I was the last time, baby.
I genuinely can't be friends with someone who has a victim complex, like sees no error in their ways or sees how they played into a certain situation. Like, I can't do it. It actually drives me insane because they'll be like, well, I can't believe they've responded to me like this. And I'm like, the key word is responding. What did you say? What did you do? Because people don't just react to nothing. What did you do? But they'll be like, well, it doesn't matter what I did. They should have never. Let me stop you right there. It actually does matter what you did. It elicited a reaction, one that you don't like. So I'm going to ask again, what did you do? It's just so annoying because I feel like some people are so like unaware. How are you not self-aware? Like, if someone is being mean to you,
it came from somewhere. You don't just wake up and people say, oh, it's right here. I don't like him. I'm going to make him people. This is what y'all need to understand. Okay. People prioritize self-preservation, right? Everything, the reason why when crimes happen is a reason why detectives always try to find a motive. Everything has a motive. Everything. Sometimes people are just jealous of you. Sometimes people just hate you. But there's a motive somewhere. it's always good to reverse engineer and figure out what that motive is, right? So with that being said, people don't just wake up and just be mean to you. I ain't saying you was mean to them, but you did something. Whether you sparked something in their brain that made them think about being like, maybe you did something and it brought them back to an old time, or maybe you caught them on a bad day, or maybe something happened, and you gotta just be aware enough to at least sit back and think, okay, this is snapping at me. What did I do to make him snap at me? Like, really think about it. But sometimes we get so caught up in our ways that we don't think that some of the things we do might not be seen the way we put it out, but the way they picked it up was way different than we put it down. You know what I mean? No diddy. You know what I mean? So you gotta have a level of self-awareness to understand, all right, let me try to dissect what's really going on and see what part of it did I play. Because I've had falling out with friends, and I can say it was things I could have handled better for the whole friendship. So you just gotta learn how to dissect shit. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's continue.
It probably didn't just happen to happen. Like, you had to do something for the most part. Sometimes, situations vary. But yeah, it makes me so mad when I'm like, okay, like, this person wronged you. What were the events before? And then when they finally tell you the events before, you're looking at them because they're literally just dead fucking wrong in the situation. Like, I'm not even talking about regular wrong. I'm talking dead fucking wrong in the situation. Because then it's like, I want to feel bad for you, but I can't, because you actually quite literally did that to yourself. You did it to yourself, and you withheld the information for so long because you wanted to paint the narrative, but it's not going to work. And I feel like I used to be friends with like a couple people that had victim complexes, but I just can't do it anymore because I'm keeping it real. You tell me I did something to you, I apologize. How do we move forward? But someone with a victim complex, you could apologize to them 7 times over and they're still gonna act like you fucking committed war crimes.
If they wanted to, they would. If they wanted to, they would. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. And I apologize in advance if this video comes off a little harsh, but like, when are we gonna retire this ridiculous mantra that we tell ourselves, if they wanted to, they would? That is an oversimplification of an oftentimes very nuanced conversation. And no, just because someone wants to do something doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do it for a plethora of reasons. You keep saying that you want your summer body, you want summer body tea, summer body tea. When was the last time you went to the gym? When was the last time you went to the gym? You keep saying you want to work out. You keep saying you want a summer body, yet a gym hasn't seen you in 3 summers. I thought it was if they wanted to, they would. You want a summer body, yet you're not going to the gym to get the summer body. So clearly, either you don't want to, or it's not just if they wanted to, they would. It's not just that simple. Life is not just that simple. If they wanted to, they would. If they wanted to, they would. Because you want that summer body, and your summer body still has yet to make an appearance because you haven't made an appearance to the gym, at the gym. 3 summers in a row now. A gym has seen you 1 time, maybe twice. New Year's, January, and it's never seen you again since. But if they wanted to, they would, right? No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. And this phrase is oftentimes an oversimplification of a very complicated concept. Complicated idea. It's not always if they wanted to, they would. Life would be very, 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 very easy if that was the case. Things would be far clearer if that was the case. This idea of if they wanted to, they would, to make yourselves feel better about whatever mistreatment, maltreatment you're getting from someone else, just leave the person. Just leave the person. If they're not treating you right, just leave them. And find someone else who will treat you the way you want to be treated. But this whole mantra to make yourself feel better, if they wanted to, they would, you know it's not true. Because you want to go to the gym and you still have yet to go there. So what? Does this rule apply to everybody else but you, right? No, come on.
No, that's also true too. No, for sure. Like, that's where the main character syndrome that people be having really comes in at. You know what I mean? Now, when they think that they supposed to be the main character in everybody's story. So if you didn't text me back within a certain amount of time, or if I actually do this for me and you didn't call, or I called you, you didn't answer, or I actually do this for me and you didn't do it, or da-da-da. Like, that's where you think you're the main character in everybody's story. Like, everybody don't got their own things going on. People got lives they gotta live. People got responsibilities. People got obligations to other things. You are not the main person in their life. They have to do other things going on. Now, maybe you don't got much going on, and that's on you, but that ain't got nothing to do with anybody else. You know what I mean? So at that, I definitely do agree. You know what I mean? It ain't just as simple. Life is complex. Nobody is a monolith. People got things going on. Now, again, a lot of this comes down to the lack of communication. If you are a person, somebody asks you to do something, you can't do it. As a person, you should be, as a friend, you should be able to communicate with your person, friend, whatever, that, hey, I can't perform this duty you asked me to do, this, and that, and they still have a problem with it, then at that point, they got main character syndrome. You gotta let them go. But overall, I do agree with the sentiment that, you know, that we gotta stop this victim complex thing, and like people gotta start taking accountability for their actions. Like I said, again, I ain't perfect. None of us are. We all play some part in the wrong in a lot of different situations. And you just gotta do that. You gotta deal with that. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to talk through that and really come to terms and take a responsibility for that. Because when you get into another friendship, things will start working out a whole lot smoother. But with that being said, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Join the Prosper Gang. We keep it a PG. There is a whole lot of prosperity going on around this mug. You feel me? Remember, there was nothing impossible today who tried. Y'all be safe in this winter storm. It's cold outside. It's talking about sub-zero in this mug. And I ain't talking about Mortal Kombat. But with that being said, till next time I'm out, deuce.